Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty, so tonight I've actually got a fair bit of random stuff that's sort of all come in the last couple of days. So I've got a bit of a backlog of random repairs and it's going to sort of work through them all tonight, and yeah, hopefully you find it informative and you learn something, I guess. Or if not, that's fine too. Whatever you want. So the first one is a little bit sad. It's from a deceased estate and got relatives wanting us to get the user data off this person's PC. It's a customer of mine. I'm not going to go into any details there, but yeah, dude died of natural causes.
Tim?
Yeah.
Kyle, this is Henry. How's it going?
Hey Kyle, how you going? Good to have you with us. So I got an M2 NVMe SSD, and we've got a hard drive here as well. So I will need got 99 cables, but a SATA cable ain't one, eh?
That's only so you should be quoting from that, man.
I got 99 of everything, but what I need I don't have. Ugh.
So,
Yeah.
being also so high over Street Jesus and Christine.
Street Jesus.
Hey, dude.
Wow. I don't think I've ever been referred to as Street Jesus.
Oh, you always refers to you as Street Jesus. They said it a few times now.
Street Jesus? What?
Street Jesus!
Street.
B,
Yeah.
B.
Oh. Oh, okay, I'm with you now. Yeah, I'm with you now.
Do you need a dunce hat?
Pretty much. Okay, so like I said, we've got this PC here. Family just wants to know if there's any personal stuff, photos or whatever on the storage devices. So we're just going to boot it up into Windows, and we're just going to copy over any user data that we find on the drives. So really a fairly simple job here. We'll also just we'll probably just reset Windows on this PC so they just have a blank slate kind of PC. I'm sure, I don't know whether they're going to want to hold on to it and keep using it, or whether they're just going to sell it, or what, I don't know. I have no idea about any of that sort of stuff. So, anyway. Radio what?
In somebody's bins on the computer. Organic, metal, plastic, glass, paper.
Well, it's all different,
chemical,
all different sorts of waste. Organic waste, metallic waste, plastic, glass, paper, radioactive, chemical, and other.
Yeah, but I want to know what sort of...
Well, a smoke detector that's broken or something like that would contain americium 231 or whatever it is. So that has to go into like that has to be dealt with as radioactive waste.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, you can't just send it to landfill, man. That could potentially be dangerous. Potentially. Very unlikely. Because nuclear stuff's way safer than people generally think. They think it's like, yeah, gonna kill us all. Yeah.
Richard says hi to me, bias queen.
Hey Richard, how you going? Good to have you with us.
I like that one. Queen. Yes.
Had a bit of a quiet week this week. I haven't run any ads for shit, since before we had puppies. Yeah. Well, we got puppies. Oh, can you check the connection, babe?
Oh.
She knows what I'm talking about.
Touched it. Yeah, it's not doing anything.
Let's try that again.
Indeed, Richard.
It's been an absolute shocker today.
Go outside and get slapped in the face by the humidity.
So I had to go out to Lowood today, and yeah, it was nice and warm out Lowood way. I think it was about 38 degrees.
Yeah.
And
then there was the
humidity
coming off the bloody
The
footpath
humidity.
as
I mean,
well.
it was drier out there. It always is drier out there.
Yeah.
But man,
still,
it was so around Brisbane. The air gets this sort of smell to it, if you know what I mean.
Felt jealous of the people swimming in the river. I wanted to go for a swim. You're a cat. Oh! Oh, sorry, buddy. He wasn't expecting me to drop him. Holy shit, Phoenix is it's snowing down where he is.
Oh wow.
It's still the copy protected content. Because it's a Radeon card.
No, it's an Intel card.
Oh.
It's got the Intel.
Yeah, the new Intel one.
Yeah, the one I bought for my new PC.
Yeah, hang on a second, I have to do something.
Just a second. We're not shutting off. Okay.
I'd rather it be snowing, to be honest. Than the humidity.
Public. Okay, what have we got? What else have we got? That Windows drive looks very empty. Look at that. That's 50 gigabytes. That's pretty much a clean install of Windows. I'm not even detecting our hard drive. It's definitely on. And I'm not detecting it. I'm not detecting it at all. Well, that's a little bit strange, isn't it? Like,
There's a USB in this, what's that? There's a 32 gigabyte of
there's
USB.
barely anything. There's barely anything on this.
Is there anything on this?
Like, there's nothing installed on it.
Is there anything on that?
Well, let's have a look.
Meow, shush.
We've got, looks like some movies or something like that. A TV show. And a couple of movies. Oh, Interstellar.
Oh,
I love that's
that.
a good movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Parasite. Dude's chased in movies. Seems okay. Alright. Enough of that. But this looks like this drive here, so this is the SSD that I've plugged in. This looks like this is just a fresh install of Windows. I'm not seeing any
Oh, no, that's just
I'm not seeing really any I'm not seeing any evidence that anyone's used it. If they have, they've cleared it and reset everything. That's what it sort of looks like to me. Because normally, when you come in here, you would start to see, you know, some other stuff installed, but not.
Is there anything in like the folders?
Let me just restart.
Go into BIOS and see.
I'm gonna try and boot into the other SSD, and if it's been reset or something like that and wiped, and just Windows put back onto it, then it might just boot straight into Windows without a password, and then that would sort of tell me all I needed to know about that. And then as for this hard drive, why I'm not seeing that, not even detecting that. That's interesting. But that could be something weird to do with what port on the CPU. Sorry, on the what SATA port on the motherboard, I should say. Because sometimes your board will be disable a certain SATA port if you're using all of the M2 drives. Certainly the generation of motherboard that we've got on this one, which I think is it's an X570, so before the refresh. Okay, so we're detecting SATA. Let's go into boot override. It's the SK Hynix 1TB, so we'll boot to that. And then let's just change this SATA port over. Oh, it's booted. It's booted back to me.
Cruising down the street and nice.
Oh, I've thought of that. I've literally thought of that.
Tim?
Yeah.
Kiwi 76 says, "Hi Tim and Christine, how's it going?"
Hey man, how you going?
I see you haven't melted yet.
No, not yet, not yet. Welcome. We are being welcomed. We are being welcomed.
What's wrong?
No, it's not even booting to the other operating system.
Hmm? That's kind of strange. Is it dead? Is that why you have this other hard drive?
Hang on, I changed the port of the hard drive, so let's see if we're detecting that now. No. Okay. Yeah.
What have I missed? What is the current repair issues tonight?
Okay, so the first one here, we're just trying to get some data off old drives here from a deceased estate. So I don't know what's happened here. What's up?
I was wondering why it smelled funny over here. Poor buddy. He's pooped on his cat stand.
Ugh.
I was like, it smells funky. What's this smell? It's cat shit. Lovely.
There we go. Now we've got the other drive, and it's been completely erased. There's nothing on this drive. So we've got a Windows drive here that's already had everything sort of erased off it, and we've got a hard drive here that's also seemingly been erased.
Oh, I've got to put this outside, man. Don't chew this, me.
Okay. Well, that answers that. That wraps this one up pretty quickly, doesn't it? There's nothing on here. There's no installed software or anything. This has been like reset. I would assume if it's in this condition, completely reset like this, that the person was trying to sell it or was intending on selling it and had already got all their data and everything off this PC. So yeah, not really anything for me to do here. I've had a look at it and confirmed it, but as for now, that can sort of just go back the way that it was. This is one of these Alienware PCs, you know, the ones that Harvey Norman and stuff try and sell. So this is really fun. The M2 drive, the M2 slot I should say, is right behind the graphics card here, and I'm trying to just plug it in.
Puppy's freaking out. It's okay.
Nah, it's defeated me. I was so close before.
Huh?
to getting this freaking thing out. Oh, bloody hell. You opened the door there, I felt that humidity, eh?
It's nice, isn't it?
No, it's fucking horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible. Yeah, so the riddle with this PC is that, yeah, basically there was nothing to get off these drives. They'd already been completely cleared. And that was pretty evident at the start when we pulled it up in Windows and we could see that there was only about 50 gigabytes installed onto it, which is roughly what the Windows operating system kind of takes up. There we go. So everything's all hooked up. We'll move these into the locked position. And then whichever way this is meant to go, I'm assuming.
No, that doesn't look right.
Doesn't look right?
No, other way. Yeah. Hang on. I reckon that way. No? Jeebus. Is it good? Oh. Okay. Pull the latch back.
Yeah. I am. Why won't that go back together?
Did you break it?
Alienware's defeating me. No.
Ah!
It just sort of slides on. Yeah, that's right.
Maybe figure it out later. Oh, fucking hell.
I've got that bit on. That's the thing about these. I'm no expert on Alienware PCs, right? No,
Obviously
I don't claim to be though. These are the sort of PCs I recommend people stay away from.
Ta-da! It's on there.
might want to put back the bolt, that one bolt, in the back there. That locks it in place. Okay, so the next PC we have is Luke's PC. So we'll leave the test bench there as is, just in case we need it. And so from what I understand, Luke tried to upgrade his RAM to 64 gigabytes. And he's bought a couple of kits of 32 gigabyte memory. I'm not sure if it's compatible or any of that sort of stuff. We'll have a look exactly what he's got there. We'll have a bit of a play around with it. But he was also saying he's got a problem with the pump on his all-in-one liquid cooler. So we can have a look at all of that stuff. I mean, this is a fairly new PC. It's got an Antec branded cooler. They got a 3-year warranty, so no problems there. Alright, so it's posting no problem to me. I've got no problems with the post. Do you want to get me a
Money. Tim. Dark side of the moon. Where is the JV? It includes a CD, gatefold vinyl, Blu-ray, and DVD audio.
Oh, okay. We could probably do with a BIOS update on this, from what I can see. The name will be on the screen. What's up?
I think What? Oh, it seems to be working now. There's something wrong with the settings. Because of that protected content thing.
Oh, really?
I had to change it back to how it was before the Intel card.
Oh, really? It's fucking annoying, that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. Alright. So there's just one fan there to replace, but I don't know if I've got just a spare one of the same fan lying around. That's okay. It's not like it's a big job or anything like that.
No.
And it's not even like super important. It's not like the PC's going to overheat or anything like that while we've just got it here. We can just run it with only the one fan there for a while. So I might have to go get a similar fan tomorrow for it. Okay. So we've got the latest version of BIOS on here. Let's make sure that everything is as it should be. You might think, oh, Windows Update, that's really easy, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't everyone do that? No, actually, not everyone does this. So if you're a tech person, you're into PCs, you might sort of frequently check for any of the latest updates. Or you might be one of those people who's like, nah, I never install any updates because I have problems and I don't know what I'm doing. Which is fine, but as a general point of maintenance, I'll do the updates when I service someone's computer. So we've got a 22H2 Windows installation there. We'll check our firmware and stuff with MSI Center.
It's not even freaking released yet.
Oh, you looked to it, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Check out the cover for it. It's a sketch of. Like,
I don't buy that any of those people who are outraged by the new logo were actually Pink Floyd fans and fans of Dark Side of the Moon. I really don't.
Yeah, nah, man, no way.
They're just trolls. Don't feed the trolls. Alrighty, so Luke's PC is pretty simple. It looks like it's just the fan. So one new fan. I think we can handle that. Alrighty, let's just make sure that what CPU have we got in here? 12600 KF. Let's make sure our 12600 KF is performing as expected. And so Cinebench, as you know, gets a bit toasty with Cinebench. But as you can see, it's not even going straight to 100 degrees like its big brother would, even with proper cooling. And it's just going to sit there in the low 70s, it looks like. And that's with one fan, only one fan on the cooler, on the radiator, I should say. Okay, so we'll just get the latest chipset and ME drivers. That will help things out a little bit here. Oh, so now we've got some RAM issues. So this kind of thing there, system thread not handled. This is very, very typical of running like two kits of the same memory that might not be rated to run together. So our system has crashed. And unfortunately, that might be part of the problem here for this customer, is that he's bought those two different kits of RAM. Oh, and I missed BIOS by the looks of things. Goku, gotta love Goku. I just remember that episode where he was trying to power up for like a month.
Yeah.
And I watched it I watched like half of each episode because I had to leave to go to school.
Yeah.
So I watched half of each episode every day. Every day I'd come back and be like, oh, it's going to be all over by now. And there was another day of screaming. That was pretty much after that I didn't.
My brother would not leave the house until we had watched every episode of that. Mum would try to make us leave, and I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. I need to see this.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, well, I had an older sibling, so, you know. Two against one.
Alright, so what we can do with the RAM is we can try running the alternative XMP profile. If there is one programmed in there, that might work as well. But yeah, unfortunately, this is why, unless you're really 100%, 110% like confident that you know everything there is, well, not everything there is to know, but you know enough about, like, say, memory to actually go and upgrade it yourself, because if not, you should just come to me, because yeah, these sort of annoying little niggly issues like blue screens and stuff like that, yeah, that's what you get when you come to me for upgrades, as opposed to like try work it out for yourself. There's no embarrassment for not knowing all about memory. It's a little bit, it's finicky at the best of times, right? It's finicky for someone like me, and let alone, yeah. Let alone end users. And what do we got next? Next, we've got a PC that seems like it's having, motherboard issues, I believe. If I remember what the customer was saying. Alright, so do we have a second XMP profile? No.
That's it.
Doesn't look like XMP was even enabled. Well, let's try the XMP profile. That doesn't usually make it more stable, that usually makes it less stable, just FYI. But it might not even post. Give it a sec. No, we're posted at least. Okay, well, yeah, all I can really say to this customer is if you have more blue screen issues, then it's that system thread not handled. That is your memory, okay? So my advice would be that you probably didn't even need 64 gigabytes to play the games that you wanted to play anyway. So if you can't get a refund for the second kit, maybe try for a store credit. If not,
You can easily sell it.
just sell it.
You right?
So I got my drink.
Ah.
So there's our memory. It's running at full speed and 64 gigabytes. And so if we do something that'll put a bit of strain, so there's one way that we can kind of check is we can stress the fuck out of it.
Holy shit. Looking at 50th anniversary stuff from Dark Side of the Moon, fucking, it's so very expensive.
I bet it is.
What? We're still in the middle of the stream. No. Huh? Yeah.
Sorry everyone, there's some shit going on off camera there. So I can use this app here called MemTest64, and to add a few more herbs and spices to the mix, we can open up Cinebench and give that a go, and give this a go at the same time. And so this will stress the hell out of our memory and our CPU. And the game we play is when will it crash?
Lag in that YouTube thing is fine for me, because you're still doing the thing.
Oh,
Still trying to get that case together. But yeah, anyway.
I mean, anyway, like it hasn't crashed yet. So what that tells me is that it's most probably there's nothing wrong with the memory. If we had some sort of a physical warranty issue with one of the kits, then it would already be screwing up on us by now. Yeah, so with memory, you have to have, to utilize 64 gigabytes of memory, you need to be really, really, really pushing it with what you're doing on the PC. You got to be editing videos. You got to be working with, you know, really, really large amounts of data and stuff. Like sometimes people who do audio engineering, they work with a lot of different channels all at the same time.
It's on the bottom.
Yeah. Well, it's just a distribution plate, so it can go anywhere. Is that a tower? A tower, yeah. Cyber tower. I love it. That is so cool. You should share a photo of that. Well, good news. Good news is that it doesn't look like we've got too much of a issue with any of the memory. How compatible those two kits are working together, that's another thing. We could have an issue where, you know, essentially, even though they're the same brand, the same sort, they just don't play nicely together. Sometimes you gotta, before you buy RAM, before you buy a second kit of RAM, definitely check online to see whether other people have done that successfully or whether they've had problems. That's probably the best advice to any of you out there right now considering a RAM upgrade. Especially if you're going from, especially if you're considering going from 32 to 64, because that's going to be less tested than kits that are 16 to 32. There's more people upgrading from 16 to 32, so that's more of the focus, if that makes sense. Okay, well, so we're not wasting too much time. I think we'll get onto the next one. But what we can do is we can let this one run, and we'll see what happens with it. We can check in from it with it from time to time. Okay. Next PC is one from Radium.
That's interesting phone.
Huh?
I said that's interesting phone.
What do you mean?
The texture of it.
We've had multiple cases with this exact phone in the last couple of days. In the last week or so.
I haven't seen the phone. I've only seen the case.
Okay. So pretty straightforward build. Looks like a 3060 or a 3060 Ti. Okay, so what do we see with this one? I see what looks to be a fairly straightforward, fairly well put together PC here from Radium. So on the surface, it looks like a PC. It looks like it'll do PC things when I plug stuff into it.
Checks out.
Yeah. It is a modern PC. But if it's come across my desk, it guaranteed there's something not quite right with it. You know, when you buy or rent a videotape that wasn't quite right. So, power on. Oh, we got to my old friend, the MSI B550 Pro VDH Wi-Fi motherboard. Now, if there's one motherboard I know pretty well, in particular, it would probably have to be this one. I've sold hundreds of these, and we've got a relatively modern BIOS there. I know it's August, but they haven't really released too many updates for it. That's just how good this motherboard is, as for like a budget board. Alright, so we're straight in here. We're booting. Memory size 16 gigabytes. So is that 2 times 8 in there? Oh. No. Okay. So interesting. These are 16 gigabyte sticks. No, they're not. 2 times 8 gigabytes. The model number begins with 16 because it's a kit of 16 sold as 2 times 8 gigabyte sticks. Yeah. DDR4 16 gigabyte, 2 times 8 gigabyte, 3600 megahertz CL18 memory there from Corsair. Used this memory plenty of times myself. And so that looks fine. Let's plug it back in. And she boots straight up. And so I haven't, as you'd see, I just pulled it out of the box. I haven't touched this PC. This has just come straight to me. I don't know, mate, has there maybe been a miscommunication about the RAM? Because that all looks sweet to me. When the customers obviously turned it on and used it. Has maybe a 16 gigabyte kit of RAM ended up in a PC that's meant to have 32 gigabytes, and the customer's playing around with it and going, it doesn't work properly. It's only showing 16 gigabytes. Oh no, that's weird, eh? It's weird, right? So yeah, I don't really know where to go with this one because it seems to be completely fine. So I'll have a bit of a chat with the customer when they come to pick this up. I mean, if it's just a different kit of RAM, then yeah, I'm sure Radium will probably just send them 2 new sticks to plug in. Just include a return slip. Yeah, seems like an easy solution there if that's what the problem is. But I mean, I'm not really seeing any problems with it as such. So yeah, that's a pretty short one, to be honest. Because, well, what am I to do? It turns on. It's got the correct amount of RAM. Graphics card's working. Couldn't get into Windows because there's a password on it. But Seems fine to me. Checks out. So I'm thinking it must be something like that. Okay. So what else have I got? I got a laptop. Okay. So this is a little bit of a weird one. A guy called me up and I said I'd have a look at it for him. He was saying that the laptop that we've got in front of us now, that this laptop, the screen like works sometimes like on a funny angle, but then won't on other angles. So it sounds like something that can possibly be repaired relatively easily.
Oh, I can see that flickering on the screen.
Oh, yeah. And so what? I hold it on an angle like this, and it doesn't do it. Ah, okay. Very interesting.
Push it forward. Oh.
So that would normally be an indication of some sort of a loose connection somewhere. So if I take this thing apart, I might not do it tonight on camera, but if I take this thing apart, what's the time? It's only 9:30. Shall we have a look? Let's have a look. So I mean, depending on the age of this laptop, it might very well be under warranty.
Does it stick it on the bottom? Give you any idea how old it is?
So not exactly, because although it has specifications of what it is, it depends when the customer bought it. Like what's the date on their receipt? That's when the warranty goes from. Because if not, they'd be selling things with like, oh, it's only got 2 months warranty left on it. So what I'm hoping here with this is, because I'm definitely not going to be soldering anything back onto the motherboard, but I'm hoping it's something that's relatively simple to repair. rather than get like a full-on new screen. So it's good to have, you know, the correct tools to open your laptops. You really need these little prying tools. Actually, I'll remove this battery. Sometimes, and yes, even in this case, we do have a few screws down here with the battery. And so yeah, always be a little bit careful when you go to open up your laptops. You don't want to snap anything. Oh, pulling out someone's SD card there. What am I missing? Okay, and so that is the base of the laptop there. Okay, so what have we got here? Yeah. Hey man, how you going? Nothing seems to be amiss here. Got an M2 drive, got hard drive, RAM, CNVI, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth module, LED control there. Now I wonder if there's nothing loose. then there could be a problem, like actually with the cable itself. Now that's where the problem is. Finding an exact cable that works for this screen, and this is where they'll get you. It'll most probably be a relatively proprietary connection, so we'll probably have to buy a whole new screen to fix it, unfortunately. So what are you ing about?
Oh, somebody in Willem Group posted about this too. He's a Japanese chef and he comes to your house and teaches you how to cook Japanese food and how to sharpen knives and stuff. Since COVID happened, we started doing this. It's a pretty cool idea.
Heaps of dust, but that's to be expected.
Does he have a fluffy cat?
No fluffy cat. This is just office dust, work site dust. No, like I'm just having a quick look. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything anywhere on this board that's like amiss. But everything I'm looking at is connected correctly. I can't see any physical damage with any of the connections. Okay. Well, we've had a quick look, and at least we can say there's no problem with the actual connection. So it could be a problem with the actual cable. We'd have to talk to Gigabyte for a new one, unfortunately. But I mean, like one of them sort of seemed a little bit out of place, right? But at the same time, I don't think it was really enough to cause a problem. But hey, stranger things have happened. So my suggestion to the customer, if he doesn't want to get a whole new laptop, I would just run it on a sort of a funny angle when you're out and about. And when I was in the office, I'd just plug in to another monitor and use it like that. It's much easier typing on a proper keyboard and using a proper mouse and stuff like that. So if it is your computer for your office and you're using it like that, yeah, probably best to just keep going with the monitor. It's a good solution. I know it's like sometimes it's necessary to have the portability, unless it's a problem for you personally and it just pisses you off. Then it might be time for an upgrade or a new laptop. I can help you migrate your data off this laptop and onto a new laptop if you want. But yeah, this was just a diagnosis here for you. I've had a quick look around without ripping the entire monitor off and looking at the back of it and stuff like that, which I'm not going to bother with just for a diagnosis. We just got to work out what the situation is here. So I'd love it if once I screw it all back together that the screen just works miraculously and just me touching the headers and making sure the tape's stuck down over the pins, because that can happen sometimes. Normally doesn't cause major problems though. And our battery.
Meow. You've had 2 dinners, mate. You little liar.
Yeah, he's a fluffy cat. I'm still definitely doing it. Seems to be fine, at least on that angle. That's a pretty workable angle right there. If you didn't want to upgrade, but still, if I move it just a little bit that direction, we start seeing it sputter.
Could it be something with like the wiring inside or something?
What I think, so there's a little there's a sensor in it that decides when it's closed to turn the screen off.
Yeah.
And I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem with that. However, it will most likely be integrated with the screen, and we'd have to get a new screen to realistically fix it properly. Because that's why it works fine when it's fully open, and it's completely fine. And then it's only when you start pulling it up that you have this problem. Yeah, very interesting. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, I'll have a chat. I'll have a chat with the customer and let them know what the issue is, at least with it, and that it isn't anything, anything simple to do with any of the connections there on the actual board for the laptop. It will most probably require a new screen. That would be the simplest way to deal with it. But yeah, like it's completely up to you what you want to do with it. It's your laptop, it's not my laptop. Screen replacement can end up being relatively expensive. Can end up being, depending on the screen and the model and all that, it can end up being, around the $500 plus mark. So at that spend, sometimes it just makes sense to go, let's just recycle this. Let's get all the stuff that we want out of it. Sell what we can, recycle it, and just get a new laptop. That might make more sense than spending money fixing it if it's a little bit older. So we'll keep it nice and simple here with diagnosis. I'll have a chat to this customer and we'll work out what makes sense for him. Alrighty, well, I do have more, but I think it's getting a bit late. I'm starting to feel a little bit tired.
Yeah, it's 9:45.
9:45. Yeah. All right. Well, that's been a fairly successful night. Why don't we finish by just seeing what's happening with this other PC? I think it's gone into sleep mode, which is actually a good sign. Because if it's gone into sleep mode, then yeah, we're Okay, well, yeah, it still hasn't crashed on us, so give it a go, I guess. I would send it back to this customer. Remember, this is the guy who he's got one fan that I need to replace. I'll do that tomorrow. And then, yeah, it's all looking pretty good. I don't think he's really got too many problems with this thing. It's the problem once you start touching it. That's when the problems begin, right? Alrighty, so thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all tomorrow in the next video.